And we are live. What up, players? Welcome to episode 165 of Player Life. It is September 11th, 2021, here in Tokyo, Japan. What is good? What is up? Hope you are well. Um, just not gonna lie, I just got up. Um, just got up right now. Have my morning coffee here. Yeah, so yeah, you had a lot of sex when you wake up and your body's in all aches and pains. Either that or I'm getting old. Maybe it's a bit of both. Who knows? I don't know. I did have a lot of sex last night though. It was a good time. Yeah, sex is good exercise. It is good exercise. It can be if you're like active, and I was active last night. Yeah, I feel like I went to the gym. God damn. Ugh, man, all good though. It is what it is in the house. Yo, yo, what's good? Hope you're well. Um, let's uh, let's have a little look at our pandemic pickup trailer.
I don't want to overstate it, but a World Health official said the Delta strain is faster, fitter, and will move through communities more efficiently and pick off the unvaccinated.
The president telling Americans to expect more restrictions after internal CDC documents warn the war has changed.
Has increased from 12,431 to 42,323 in just a week. That's an increase of 243%.
Hey, you see this?
Here we go again.
The men are gonna need us.
It definitely will. This is getting crazy.
It's time to unite.
Let's do this.
All right, what is up? Did you guys hear the sound on that? I couldn't. The sound wasn't playing. I wasn't sure. I don't know. On my end, the sound wasn't playing. I don't know. Put a one in the chat if you could hear the sound on that. Um, Alex Katasomas says, "Greetings, MLD sent me. I hope to get on pandemic pickup. Good stuff, man. Definitely get in on it. It is going to be good. It's going to be good shit. Looks like people could hear the sound, so that's good. I don't know why it wasn't playing through on my end, but yeah. So let me check. Yeah. So for for pandemic pickup, Delta variant going to be launched on September 30th. Access to pandemic pickup 1.0. 10 online modules on online game mastery featuring modern life dating. Modern life dating definitely knows online dating inside out. 10 modules on day game featuring yours truly, Mac the Day Gamer. And I definitely know a lot about day game. That is for sure. Exclusive modules on consensual sexual escalation with female model or models. 5 webinars on Pure Game starting October 2nd at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Telegram chat for Pure Pickup Game until end of year. Pandemicpickup.com. Good stuff. It's going to be good stuff. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be, it's a good combination, MLB with the online dating, and me with the day game coaching, teaching. Definitely get on the waiting list and sign up. You can get on my email list as well. You just go to macthedaygamer.com. I'll put the link in the chat. Go to my website and just go down to the bottom of the page and put your email in. And I'll keep you up to date about it. So what else we got? So also here's the No Simp September streaming schedule. So Modern Life Dating YouTube channel, Sunday to Friday, interview with a man, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Saturday, dude party, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Mac the Day Gamer YouTube channel, Monday, 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time and 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Wednesday, 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thursday, 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time and 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Friday, 10 p.m. EST. Saturday, 10 p.m. EST. So obviously for the month of September, No Simp September, going to be banging out the streams every day. Good stuff. So speaking of No Simp September, no simping in September. Absolutely no excuses for simping ever, anytime. But we're living in a time when simping is so out of control. It's just that it has irreparably damaged the sexual marketplace, and it's it's going to be like that for the foreseeable future. I think it's just one of those indefinite things where it's you're not going to save the West. You're not going to save how it used to be. You're not going to go back to how it was back in the day. But you just have to become a top tier dude. There's no way around it, and you got to learn game. It's just you can't cut any corners. Because you could actually, you could become a top tier dude financially, but you're still not going to be able to get with women. So you need the whole package, honestly. No e-simping, no liking girls' Instagram posts, no commenting on them, no sending her excessive messages, just none of that. No free attention. The only time you should be giving free attention is when you are, trying to, in the process of arranging a date, trying to meet up with them. And that also reaches a point where you have to stop if they are not being receptive enough, or if they have not, if they have not given you, if you've shot your shot multiple times, then, you cut it off and move on. You source other chicks. You should always be sourcing chicks anyway. You know what I mean? You always source other chicks anyway, even if you are getting laid. No Simp September. No simping ever, anytime, but especially you double down, you reset, you reassess what you're up to in September. In No Simp September, you sometimes, even when you're red pill aware, you can find yourself slipping. I mean, even sometimes I find I have to catch myself. I have to catch myself from if I realize, oh shit, I've already asked this chick out a few times, so better not. I'm not going to ask her out again. I'm going to delete her message and unfollow her. Just like you have to constantly catch yourself from giving too much free attention. It is what it is. Says, what are your thoughts on China canceling simping? Pretty based, pretty based. I don't like any government interference. I don't, China's far from perfect, but it's it's more based in the West anyway. But I'm not a fan of any government interference because it'll never end up good. Even if your government does something good, but if your government has too much power, which obviously Chinese government does have, it's not a good thing. It's like the opposite in Western societies. It's like Western governments are like almost enforcing simping. They're like making it mandatory. Like it's enforced cuckoldry kind of thing. Yeah, I don't know. I just saw MLD talking about it, so I'm not super informed about it. What actually happened? They banned like effeminate guys or something. China. And what did they ban? They banned effeminate men or something from TV. Is that what it was? China banned. Let's see, Emperor. Oh yeah, okay. So China bans effeminate men from TV. Yeah, I mean, I don't agree with banning something like that, but it's I also don't agree with Western society where governments are almost enforcing the femininity of men. They're funding campaigns to put down like toxic masculinity and all this shit, and it's just as bad. It's like the Western society is like the opposite. It's like enforcement of femininity. Enforcement. Well, who was that motherfucker in the White House? The really gay looking dude, or like I don't know, what was that about? If anyone saw that, I can't. What was that about? Some like intern or something. Let me see if. Let me see if I can find it. There was some video, man, and he was running around the White House. If anyone has a link, post it in the chat if you know what I'm talking about. I don't know, it should come up, but let me see. Let me see. I'm trying to find it. It's just ridiculous. Okay, maybe I found it. Let me see. Okay. God damn it. Nope. That is not it. That is not it. Let me see. I'll type it in YouTube. Google is shit. Google is a piece of shit. Okay, I think I found it. Oh, yeah. I'm trying to find the original one. Okay. Yeah, this is it. Okay, I'll share this one. Share screen. Okay, this is
Benny Drama, whose real name is Inner makes waves on TikTok after teaming up with Jen Psaki to promote White House.
Damn it,
Intern
it's not
wants
the
shots in
original.
arms. The video starts with
Where can I find the original? Okay, maybe this is it.
One sec. Democracy's calling. See you, Daddy. Bye.
Hi, my name is Cooper, and this is a day in my life as a White House intern.
We did a joke. Hey, everyone.
Usually I start off with a big coffee. Sorry, they're like really strict in here.
Hey, Jenny. I booked you a nail appointment, love.
Yeah, I didn't tell you to do that.
It's called Initiative. Hi, White House. This is Cooper. I don't think so. Oh, doesn't matter.
This is actually the entrance to the West Wing. This is so fun, and it's really prestigious.
Hey, POTUS. Is Olivia Rodrigo still here?
No. We've come a long way in our fight against this virus. We've vaccinated 160 million Americans. Are you getting this all down?
Don't worry, Queen. It's all right here.
Uber.
Sorry, Miss Jen. Hey, Jen, don't forget to have fun. Spirit fingers, Mama. We need to get shots in the arms of every single American. I'm heading to a haircut.
Comment if you want me to make more of these.
All right, so that is what I was talking about. That's what I mean by the idea that like in China, they're banning effeminate men, or whatever. And you might think that's based, and in a way it is based, but I just don't like big government. I don't like government getting involved in anything. But it's just as bad. It's like where it's in the Western society, in America, all Western societies, they're like, just like you saw there. That's like enforced feminization. That's like advertising. That's promoting the feminization of men. And just the way the guy behaves too. It's like everything's like sexualized, and it's kind of like explicitly like sexualizing everything. That's the whole thing about that's the whole thing about gay pride and all that. It's like explicitly like talking about their sexuality. It's like why is it relevant? Like, why is it relevant that who gives a fuck? Ken says, who the fuck wants to go back to 1700s Britain? These trad cons are weirdos. I agree. If you become a top tier guy today, it's pretty good. It's a pretty good time to be alive. It's a shame about the beer bug. It's a shame about that. That puts a dampener on things for sure. The beer bug is definitely a cock block. It has to be said, but you're not going to change that. So just focus on the things you can change. Harry Zikos in the house. What's up, brother? What is good? Mac, are you familiar with ARC's Mode 1? No idea what that is. No idea. Go hike in the house. Go more hike says, hey everyone, what's good? Colin Donahue in the house, what's up, man? Paul Joseph Watson's new video explains how China weaponized emasculation via TikTok, but now shields their own young men from it by banning that content. Yeah, it's like it's a psychological warfare. Paul Joseph Watson's content is pretty fucking based. Gotta be said. God, he's been making based content for a long time. Matt W says, feminize and weaken the men, then unleash tyranny on the whole society. It's happening. Yeah, it's happening. It's happening all across Western society. It's fucked up. It's a new kind of war. It is a war, It is actually a war. And most normie motherfuckers will never even, the war will be fought and won, and they'll never even realize it was a war because they're too fucking stupid. It's a psychological warfare. Because you can't fight a traditional war between between superpowers anymore. It can't be done really because everyone has nuclear weapons. So you need to fight the wars in different ways. And that's what's happening right now. It's psychological. It's like undermining the society, demoralizing the society, weakening the society, pitting the people against each other, and mixing in a bunch of different cultures together and expecting them to all sit around the campfire and sing "Kumbaya fucking yeah." It's a load of shit. Humans are ultimately tribal species. So it's not going to be all sitting around a campfire, oh, we're all equal, we're all the same, and we're all going to let each other live and do our thing. No, it's like there's one culture that's going to come out on top. It's going to and take over. It's hard, sometimes there's just differences, cultural differences that are they're hard to compromise on. I mean, Western society and Islamic society, it's hard to make a compromise on a lot of those values. I mean, the one thing I really respect Muslims a lot is the way they don't bow down. They even when they when Muslims move to a Western society, they don't they bring their culture with them, and they don't let let the Western society change their values. But it's just funny. It's funny the way these libtards can't they can't say anything about anything. If I told a story before about in England where they were introducing LGBTQ education into the elementary schools, and the Muslim community were just not having it. Just decided to group together and protested it, and they canceled they stopped teaching LGBTQ, the whole alphabet. They stopped teaching that in the school because the parents didn't think their kids needed to know about anal sex. That's what they thought that their kids didn't necessarily need to know that two men fuck each other up the ass. They did, and that's a controversial thing in 2021. However, if native British, or Western community gathered together and formed a protest to say that, hey, we don't really want our kids to learn about this. We don't think they need to learn it. It's not. They'd be outcast. They'd be called white nationalists or white supremacists, and they'd be just like the whole weight of the media would come down on top of them, and all the fucking do-gooders and all the feminists would come out doing counter protests. Antifa would be out doing counter protests. The West is so cocked. The West is a cocked little bitch. Like, the West is like a cocked little bitch. Western societies, what are those things? Those contraptions, what are they called? I don't know what they're called, but they're used in like they're using S&M and shit. One of those, what are they called? The things that the men have to wear. It's like a fucking thing that restricts their fucking dick. It's like a metal thing over it. Anyway, that's Western society is wearing one of those collectively. It's just totally cucked. It's used in cuckold porn where the man has to wear this fucking degrading shit over his dick. And that's a representation of Western society as a whole. For anyone who doesn't know, it's so that the man cannot get an erection. That's Western society right now, just being fucking cucked. But yeah, it's anyway, I don't know. It's like today's episode is yeah. So Go More Hike says, any trans movement there in Japan? Japan is just like, you know, today's episode is pretty much about, you know, it's like how living in Japan will make you even resent the West even more. You know, if I lived in Ireland or in any Western country, I don't know, I'd lose my mind. But you know, I'm out here in Japan, just you know, watching things kind of burn slowly or quickly, whichever way you want to look at it, back in Western societies, back in Ireland. And you know, it just makes you resent it more, because things are good here, you know. Things are good here, a lot better than they are back home. But I don't know about trans movement. I don't, things like that's on the, you know, people keep that stuff to themselves. I mean, there's no, it's not like, you know, you can be trans here, I'm sure, and it's not going to be an issue. But they don't make an issue about it, as far as I know. There's no, like, they don't go around making a big, you know, always complaining, always, you know, saying, "Oh, we're victims." I don't know. I don't pay attention to it. I don't see anything. You sometimes you see like trans people around, you know, but it's not like, I don't know. It's like, I don't know, to be honest. I don't pay attention to that kind of shit. Um. Uh. Colin in the house says, speaking of emasculation and to keep it real, Mac, can you buy a defensive firearm where you are? Gangs, foreign military invasion, tyranny, not impossibilities. No, you cannot buy a defensive. I believe, as a foreigner, I think it would be extremely difficult to get a firearm. I think if you have permanent residency, you might, it would be possible to get a hunting rifle, but that's about it. And I think that would be very difficult to do. So no, I'm not right now. I wouldn't be in a position to get one. No, I wouldn't. It would be. I don't think it would be legal, because I'm on a working visa right now. I don't have permanent residency. I really doubt that I would be able to get one. But Japan is such a safe place, man. It's just such a, you know, it's I can't even imagine having to use a firearm, to be honest. Um, it's one of the things about Japan. It's everything's just yeah. You don't have to fear anything. You know, I've been here over 6 years, and I've never been intimidated at all. Um, yeah, it's just crazy. And it's like, beauty is so common here. Like, really hot girls are extremely common here. And not only that, but you know, I was thinking, like, I hooked up with this girl yesterday, and for me she was like a 10. If I was to, honestly, she ticked all my boxes. And I was just thinking, like, if there was a girl like this back home in Ireland, it would be like, she would most likely be she would not be a very nice person. She would be very obnoxious. She would just be very entitled, all that kind of shit. Because beauty like that is not as common in Ireland. And then well, not by a long shot, not by a long shot. And then you add all the, you know, the female empowerment, and all the, you know, all the Me Too stuff, and all the, you know, it just, I'm telling you, like, if there was a girl as in equal beauty, except, you know, except an Irish girl, she would be a very annoying woman to deal with. However, this chick I hooked up with yesterday was sweet. She was feminine. She didn't have any big ego. She was just yeah, and this is normal in Japan. It's just normal, you know. Yeah, occasionally you run into like obnoxious, annoying bitches, but that's part of living a player lifestyle. That's the way it is. You better get used to it. It's one of the things that I tell guys. You have to develop a thick skin when you if you like sleeping with a lot of women, because yeah, you'll run into like, you know, chicks that are rude, obnoxious, you know, they'll give you dirty looks, you know. But in Japan, it's not to the extent that it would be in a Western country. Like in Western country, you're going to need an even thicker, you know, like when it comes to like doing cold approach, you're probably going to need a thicker skin. I mean, Western girls are going to be more likely to be ruder, you know, when rejecting you. But yeah, you just got to like not give a fuck. Don't. The most important thing is like if a bitch is like really rude to you and dismisses you, yeah, it's not to get like not to let her get you emotional or draw negative emotions from you, because it's like a waste of time. Like why, like in this life you have to pick your battles. Like why would you pick a fight, you know, with some random bitch that you're just trying to bang, you know? You know, if my advice to it is if a chick is rude to you when you cold approach her, just literally ignore her and like move on. Like you don't even need to say anything. Like it's just like, because you're just going to waste energy like giving them the satisfaction of you know, continuing engaging with a bitch, like with an obnoxious bitch. So just like eject and move on. But you know, it's kind of the price you have to pay for getting laid with really hot and sexy girls. It's like you will run into, like, you kind of have to pick through a lot of, you know, depending on how good your game is, depending on this, that, and the other, you'll have to sift through some shit. You're gonna have to sift through some shit, and that's reality. But yeah, like it got it. You know, the one thing about Japan is, I've said it before, I'll say it again. I still think you need better game in Japan than I would back in a Western country. However, my patience, your patience, you need more patience in a way in a Western country, you know, because you're going to deal with more obnoxious bitches, you know. But I think your strike rate, your success rate, if I did game on the level I did in Japan, I would have a higher success rate in some European country. I don't think I could not. I'll be honest, like I could not live this kind of lifestyle in Ireland. It's too small. It's too small a country. Like I couldn't. I could live it for. If I just started doing game, and you could live it for a little bit, you could do it, but it would become an issue probably after a year or so. Like if I was around Dublin City doing like gaming like a game in Japan, nah, you'd step on too many toes. You'd be banging to it. Just wouldn't. Dublin City has a population of about 500. The city has a population of about 500,000. It's not even a million. Dublin, people from Dublin and Ireland like to say, oh, you know, it's a million. No, it's not. Like the outer regions, like the suburbs and all that, like the outer region, Dublin County is like a million, over a million. But the city center is like less, it's like 500,000. It's a small fucking city. I mean, you know, there's only so much you can do. Like obviously learn game if you're Irish or whatever. Learn game. You need game no matter where you are. But it's just like to the extent of which you can live like a player lifestyle, like really, like the level I live at over here is kind of ridiculous. It's awesome, man. I love it. Like honestly, like just banging like really hot girls on the regular. And I'm not saying that, you know, to like brag or anything. It's just fun. It's good. Like it's like the dream, you know. I was talking to a friend the other day, and was like, hypothetically speaking, like, would you take right now? It's like a hypothetical question, so obviously, but it's shocking about how literally. Okay, so here's the thing: would you take $1 billion right now, but on the condition that you can never have sex ever again? And like, you don't even have to think about something like that. You just like, no, I wouldn't take it. I mean, genuinely mean that. Like, there's not even a split second I would think about it. No, like it's hypothetical, obviously, but it just shows that like money is important, but it's like sex is like it's a huge element of living a happy life. Like it is for a straight male, for a straight healthy male. If you're not having sex, you're not going to be fully happy. You know, it's going to be hard to find true happiness if you're not, because your balls are like a factory. Like they're making, it's making sperm every day. So, and it's like we're just bred for over millions of years. Like we've evolved to want to seek out sex, and it's just like, is life worth living? It's almost, life is kind of unbearable if you're not getting some sweet pussy. You know, if you're not getting some new fucking hot female, man, it's like, honestly, it's like split. I genuinely mean, like, you take the billion. No, I literally never would I ever do that. Never, ever. You know, really, can you imagine living life? Imagine being told. Imagine, it's a hypothetical thing, but you never can touch a woman again. You're never gonna see a woman. You're never gonna have sex again. Life is like shit. Life is holy shit. What's the point? What is the point? I don't know what I do. I don't know what the fuck I would do. I would have to do some really, like, if I could never have sex again for something, or something happened to me, I would have to take up some like really extreme, like crazy sport, like to make my life, like give my life some spice. I'd have to do like base jumping or wingsuit. I'd have to do something. You would have to do something, because life would just be so shit. It would just be like, shit, what's the reason? You need to do some crazy shit on the regular, to take your mind off the fact that you're never going to get pussy again. But let's see. Let's Go More Hike. He's from County Cork. It was my first RP book that I read. Which are you talking about? Book recommendation: The Pain Before the Game by Damien Dunlea. Okay, that's an Irish name anyway, Dunlea. Yeah, so let me see. Bring It On says, is Japan too dense with people in your opinion? No, I mean, it's not too. Ever since the bear bug, there's not really any. I don't want to say there's any positives about the bear bug, but there is one thing. Since the bear bug, the trains have become less packed. I remember before the bear bug, yeah, even early 20, even as early as 2020, January, February, before the bear bug started kicking in, the trains would be sometimes absurdly packed. Like, you've seen the videos where they would like push people are getting pushed onto trains, like, squishing them in like sardines. Trains used to be like that. Since the bear bug, I haven't seen a train like that. Sometimes they're pretty packed, but not like that, because things have changed. Some things have changed permanently. Like a lot of people are now permanently working from their homes. Maybe that's a better thing, for some kind of jobs. Maybe that's so. But no, Japan is not too packed, in my opinion. But yeah, I mean, yeah, yesterday was a good day. Yeah, got another pickup. So I met a friend. You know, met him for lunch. And we talked about some business, and then I wanted to get pick up some t-shirts. So I went into a local spot, and yeah, I saw this chick walking along, and she was looking really sexy. So I opened her, walked up beside her. You know, I said, "Hey, I like your high heels," because she was wearing these like sexy high heels. So I think that's what I opened her with. And then she couldn't understand me, so I started speaking to her in Japanese. Um, and you know, eventually I said, you know, I'm gonna get some t-shirts. Come, you know, come. You want to come with me? So she came along with me, and we went to Zara, and you know, I bought a t-shirt, and then we went, and you know, I just wanted to kind of, yeah, I wanted to smash this chick immediately. Like she was like as soon as I saw her, but you know, so I said I'd take her for, said let's go for a walk, and then I took her into a bar, and you know, the thing is, like when I opened this chick, you know, when I introduced myself, you know, one of the things I always tell guys to do is like, you know, shake their hand, you know, hand contact, you know, breaking down the physical barrier and escalating basically. So you do that right off the bat, that like helps a lot, because like, you know, and you don't shake their hand like you shake a man's hand, you caress their hand, you know, you kind of massage it almost, you know. um so she knows your intentions whenever you know, when you do that. So yeah, that's what you do, that's what you got to do. But yeah, so we went to Zara, then we left Zara, got the t-shirt, um and then I took her to a bar, and you know, just escalated from there. Just, you know, it was kind of a stand-up bar, so yeah, we're standing up, and then, you know, just got closer and closer, and eventually just started making out with her in the bar, and it was like daytime, and yeah, and then just took her home and smashed. But it was a good time, and it was funny because this was when I opened her. She, you know, as I was chatting to her, I noticed a sticker on her phone. Um, this was like, it was that was a sticker on her phone. It's like this. It's kind of like old Japanese. It's a 69, obviously. So I knew this girl was a freak when I saw the sticker. I'll show it once more. Yeah, so it's like two, but yeah. Um, so that was a interesting, because she had her phone in her hand, and I saw the sticker, and I said, "What is that?" You know, and she was like, "Oh, it's like, you know." She told me the name in Japanese. I can't remember what it is, but it means 69 basically. And I was like, okay, this girl's a freak. This girl is a freak. I'm gonna try and get a same day lay from this girl. And yes, it was a good time. She came back with me. Yeah, I didn't even, you know, I escalated to the point where I didn't even need to use plausible deniability. I said, let's just go back to my place. And because at that point I had escalated to already kissing her in daytime. Bear in mind, this is daytime, you know, and we went to a bar, but we didn't stay there long. I mean, I was drinking a Coke, like I wasn't drinking alcohol. Um, but it was just, yeah, I love Japan. Like, come on, can you, yeah, it's just like epic city, epic place to be. When you can just go out in the daytime and pick up like a super hot girl, and like take her home, and smash during the daytime. Day game, like day game. It's not, you can do this in, anywhere in the world pretty much, but it's all a numbers game. Adventures of Electric Lamp says, I've been contemplating about moving to Japan or Sweden in the future, or just stay in the States and just deal with the West. Yeah, I mean, if you can get out, I would highly recommend it. I'm sorry to say, but we only get one life at the end of the day. You want to kind of enjoy it. You want to enjoy it. That's for sure. Yeah, but that was a fun time. But look at this. I mean, let me just show you guys what you're missing out on. Let me show you what you're. Yeah. Yeah, Japanese girls are pretty hot, to be honest. Let me see this one. What's her name? Yeah, so beauty's pretty common in Japan. You can go out and you'll see girls dressed like this, like in the summer. It's pretty awesome. It's a nice country to live in. That's for sure. Super feminine, hot. And it's not like it's like their attitude is feminine too. They're genuinely feminine. It's not fake. A lot of Western girls will come over to Japan and get, it's fake. Oh, they're fake. They're getting butthurt because Japanese women are like winning on so many levels compared to them. They get jealous and butthurt because deep down they know that they've been sold or they've gotten a raw deal, and they see Japanese women looking beautiful and feminine and behaving feminine, and it annoys Western girls. It annoys Western girls a lot. That's why they don't last in Japan. They never last. They don't last. They don't last here a long time at all. But yeah, it's funny. I remember I was speaking of Western girls. I remember when I was teaching English, and it was this job, and it was when I had to do some bullshit orientation or whatever. So I was in with other English teachers, so pretty much they were all foreign, and it was a break time. So we're in the room, and I was just flicking on my phone or whatever, waiting for the orientation to begin, and there was this like typical Western kind of girl, fat, loud, very loud, like speaking. You could hear everything she's saying. Most people are speaking at a normal volume, but she was like, you could hear it like speaking really loudly. And obviously I overheard her say, so the instructor was another American chick. She was it was the most cringe fucking conversation ever. It was a cringe fucking, but so the American instructor she was a black chick, and the loud, obnoxious girl was a white chick. I think they were both American, Canadian or American, I don't know. But the white chick was said to the instructor, I always see white men, spreading their legs on the subway, and she like it was like she was trying to I don't know, show that it was so cringeworthy. It was so obnoxious. It was so she said this in front of the whole room, like she always sees white men, mansplaining. What is it? Manspreading. That's what it's called, isn't it? When the men apparently sit on the train and spread their legs, manspreading. She says, "Oh, I always see white men in Tokyo manspreading on the trains," and she like imagine like the roles are reversed, and she's saying this to the black woman. And it's like, what is she trying to do? She's being a little bitch. She's trying to be like, I'll be a little ally or something, like trying to show that she's like, oh, she's down with the cause or something. She's against white men too. And it's like, and I couldn't help myself. I just couldn't. So I had to say something. So I just said to her, so are white men the only ones with balls between their legs? And she said, excuse me? Excuse me? And I was like, I just didn't respond. I just went back to scrolling on my phone because I just couldn't. Yeah, just that's the worst thing, having to. The chances are, if you come to Japan and you teach, you're going to be doing teaching. Try and at least try and find a job that you're not going to have to deal with other Westerners, because Japan's a great country to live in, but yeah, you want to. It depends on your setup, really. Yeah, I just want to get away from those kinds. Absolutely. Thankfully, I do not work there anymore, so that is a good thing. Yeah. Alex says that is very revealing. Western girls don't last in Japan. No, they don't last. I mean, because they can't compete. Like, they can't compete. Japanese men, for the most part, are not interested in them at all. Some are. I mean, sometimes you see weird combinations. Sometimes you see decent looking Japanese guys with these white girls that look like shit. And it's like, I don't know what maybe he has a fetish for white girls, and he just, they're hard to find. But they're hard to find decent ones. But no, they don't last. For the most part, Japanese guys don't want anything to do with them. Like, they really don't. Like, because Japanese girls are way hotter, way more feminine. Like, why would you punch down, like punch way down and hook up with a Western chick? And it's not that there's not hot Western, like white or black, or there are, but there's just far fewer. We're talking about ratios here. When you're talking about ratio, it's like the same in Ireland. Like, there are hot Irish girls. There are. I'm not saying there's not, but it's the ratio. They're so few and far between. And then even when they are hot, they're going to be, when they are hot, they're going to have a bad attitude. They're going to have so you need. That's why it's just better in an Asian country. Let's see. Bring It On says, I found a 9 out of 10 Algerian girl sitting at a parking lot. I walked up to her and gamed her, shook her hand, but at the end, when I asked for her number, she said she had a boyfriend. Dude, like, that's a lot of the time when they say they have a boyfriend. It might be true, but I mean, it could be a shit test too. I mean, you might, since you went up to her, shoot for the number anyway. Just when they say they have a boyfriend, say, oh, I don't care. And say, I don't care, or, it doesn't matter. Or, I just like your style. I thought maybe we could be friends. And, like, when you say something like that, they know you don't want to be friends. I mean, you just say it anyway, just to, like, play around. At least shoot for it. Even if they say they have a boyfriend, it might be true, it might not. But shoot for the number anyway. It might be a shit test, it might not. But I always shoot anyway. I've banged girls. Trust me, I've banged girls that have said I have a boyfriend. When I shoot for the number, they say, "Oh, sorry, I have a boyfriend." And I just say, "Oh, I don't care. Just I like your style. I just thought maybe we could get to know each other." And then they'll give you the number, and then you'll arrange a date, and you'll smash. So if you're gonna go to the trouble of approaching a girl and she'll shit test you like that, or just try again. Just say you don't care. Just say you don't care. That's the easiest thing to do. Fredo in the house says, this guy is so underrated. What inspired you not to be afraid to start talking to a hot girl? Inspired me was my sex drive, I would say. Um, my sex drive is what inspired me. I was driven by my desire to have sex. So I mean, I was like, I was nervous. It was all it's awkward. It's when you first start doing it, it's an awkward thing. You're not used to it. I've used the analogy before. It's like going to the gym. The first time you try and do 10 pull-ups, you're not going to be able to do 10 pull-ups. You're not going to be very good at them. But it's just like doing cold approach, doing the reps, speaking, getting more socially calibrated, getting more experience talking, opening girls, it's basically just socializing yourself, getting better at social skills, but one particular type of social skill, and that's like, trying to seduce a girl to fuck, so there's all different kinds of social skills, but it's just something you get better at over time. And that's why it's like, start, like, even if you think you're shit and you might be shit and you have no confidence, and you start, the sooner you start, the better. It's like, because it's like, you have to get those reps in. You learn from each new approach. Even when it goes bad, you're like, oh, that went kind of bad. Maybe she was just a bitch. Maybe my approach wasn't that good, but you start getting those reps in. You do 10, then you do 20, 30, 40, 50, then you get 100. You do 100 approaches. You start learning. You will start learning. You start picking up on little things, and you might not even be conscious of it, but yeah. And then it's all about getting your first lay from cold approach, and then once you do that, you're never going back. You realize that day game is epic. Day game is a fucking, getting your first lay from day game might be the most difficult, depending on the person. But yeah, it's like, once you do it, it's like you'll always be like, this is worth it. The juice is worth the squeeze. Yes. Sam in the house says the West is hell on earth. It's not great. I will say that. Jones Sir 227 says, how good does your Japanese have to be to deal with these girls? I mean, when I came to Japan, I couldn't speak any Japanese at all. I started learning Japanese when I came to Japan, like, because I wasn't even sure if I was going to be coming to Japan until like a few weeks before I got a job here. So I learned most of my Japanese. I studied a little bit when I got here, gradually studying a little bit, but mostly how I learned my Japanese was through game, like through, it's funny because a lot of girls, like, could say, oh, you're Japanese, my Japanese is feminine, because I learned so much Japanese from girls. Like, I learned a lot of Japanese from girls, and yeah, it's kind of funny. It's kind of, that's a receipt in itself. That, talking about, if you want to talk about receipts, like the fact that my Japanese is like is feminine, and I don't know the difference. It's because I just want to communicate. Communication is the most important thing. So it's like, sometimes people say, oh, why are you saying something like so politely? And I'm like, I don't know if it's polite or not. I'm just trying to communicate. Like, I don't, because there's so many different ways to say things in Japanese, and there's different politeness levels and stuff. And sometimes I say something really, really excessively politely, and other times it's like it's like extremely rude, because it's like, it's too casual. Because like, like I said, there's different levels to Japanese, and they don't, I guess they understand because I'm a foreigner, but there's some people still comment on it. They're like, well, why are you saying it like that? And I'm like, well, I mean, I'm just trying to say it. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? That's all that matters. Anyway, long story short, your Japanese, you can learn. You don't need that much Japanese to really basic communication is enough. and then you can build on that. You snowball it if you're going to be here for a long time. Joneser227 says, have you tried a soapland experience? No, I have not. I have not tried a soapland experience in Japan. I've been to a fetish bar. That was kind of fun, but it's not, you don't have sex in there or anything like that. It's kind of like a strip club. I've been to swinger bars. That was a fun time. That was a crazy experience. No, I've never been to soapland. A lot apparently, yeah, but yeah, straight up answer. Let's see. It is what it is. Says, I got a cute Polynesian island girl, really exotic looking the other day. It was enjoyable because she didn't have the Western average hot girl kind of attitude where they are spoiled. That's it. Yeah. So yeah, Western girls are just extremely spoiled. Is because they've been pedestalized, told that they're fantastic, and then they've also been told that they're victims, and it's a whole mess. Like it's like they're told that they're amazing, they're yes girl, boss bitch, you're amazing, but then at the same time you're a victim, and it's just like, it just makes for a very unpalatable kind of personality, where someone on one hand thinks that they're fucking amazing for no reason other than their gender, and then at the same time they think they're a victim and that they deserve special treatment and all this shit. And it's like, it makes her a very, very distasteful kind of person. And that's why the West it's like intolerable to me, because there's so many people like that. And there's so many little victims, and like, oh, I'm like, poor me, and like, oh, I'm amazing, I'm a boss bitch, and I'm a, I need special victim status, and I'm, just shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up. That's what I think about it. They just need to shut the fuck up. But yeah, I don't know. Let me see what else is going on. Let me see. I haven't looked at libs of TikTok for a while. See if there's anything interesting on that. Let's see. Let's get a good example.
Called Gender Florette. Hey everyone, my name is Bunny. I use fun pronouns. So continuing on the video talking about the gender fey identities, there's one called Gender Florette. So Gender Florette and Gender Fey are pretty similar, where Gender Fey is gender fluid between agender identities and female. Gender Florette is gender fluid amongst different agender, neutroid identities, with some feelings of femininity that can come in every now and then, but never fully identifying as female. That's what I've got for Gender Florette. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Okay. Yeah, just mental illness right there. Look at this shithole.
Ah, the ghetto! Ooh! Ah, the ghetto! The ghetto! The ghetto!
The West is, you're not going to save it. Save yourself. That's what I'd say.
Is to pack clothing for a several day trip.
I don't know. Seems too long.
Yesterday for a trauma or an emergency. I happened to be called to the ER yesterday for a trauma or an emergency, and the ER was just in shambles. There were patients everywhere, and I saw this article this morning where Florida doctors walked out at 4 a.m. to protest the resources that have been taken by unvaccinated patients. So my question to you is, how much longer do we have to do this? How much longer do the doctors and nurses have to work to treat unvaccinated patients? I see the unvaccinated patients dying every day. but I see them taking the resources of the vaccinated patients. And so how long can we let this go on for the sake of, our freedom to choose to not be vaccinated? It is a real question, and this is happening in our hospitals, whether you want to deny that or not. But it's a real thing and it's a real problem.
Yeah, fuck you. Get vaccinated, you dumb bitch. Get all the vaccines. But
I happened to be called to the ER yesterday.
Who gives a fuck? Jones says, "What's a good place in Tokyo for a foreigner to rent an apartment?" I mean, there's so many places. I mean, depends what kind of place do you want to live in. I mean, just what's your budget, like all that kind of stuff. Too many variables, man. Need to be more specific. But if money isn't an object, then I would say if money isn't an object and you want to be able to pick up girls and take them back to your place easily. Shinjuku, Shibuya, Ebisu, yeah, those three are pretty good. So let me see. Yeah, so it is what it is. Says, do you like mochi balls? Mochi. I like mochi's all right. Mochi's not bad. Mochi, for anyone who doesn't know, is a rice cake. It's a squishy rice. It's like pulp rice, where it's like really chewy. And apparently, fun fact is mochi, like every year, some people die from eating mochi. Like specifically old people, because they can't chew it. Like mochi ball, it's like for anyone who's never had it, mochi is like it's like a pulped rice basically. So it's like this chewy, like chewy ball, I guess, like sticky ball, and like it gets caught in their throat and they choke on it. Yeah, so be careful when eating mochi. But yeah, guys, I mean, let me show once more. Let's check out the pandemic pickup trailer. Let me just let me share it. It's a pretty epic trailer, gotta be said.
I don't want to overstate it, but a World Health official said the Delta strain is faster, fitter, and will move through communities more efficiently and pick off the unvaccinated.
The president telling Americans to expect more restrictions after internal CDC documents warn the war has changed.
Has increased from 12,431 to 42,323 in just a week. That's an increase of 243%.
Hey, you see this?
Here we go again.
The men are gonna need us.
They definitely will. This is getting crazy.
It's time to unite.
Let's do this.
All right, good stuff. So if you're interested in that, go to my website, get on my email list, and I will keep you up to date about it. Going to be It's going to be released on September 30th. So good stuff. It's pretty good combination, to be honest. I mean, MLD, expert at online dating, really knows his shit about that. And it's going to be all new content, all new course material. And I am a day game expert, and I know exactly how to pick up girls from day game. Day game is king for me. So you get the best of both worlds. Like you get your online dating, you get your day game, and it's going to be a good course. So if you're interested in that, definitely get on it. Going to be a good time. Let me just show exactly what's the course will contain. So Pandemic Pickup, Delta variant, September 30th. Access to Pandemic Pickup 1.0. 10 online modules on online game mastery featuring modern life dating. 10 modules on day game featuring Mac the Day Gamer. Exclusive modules on consensual sexual escalation with female model. 5 webinars on pure game starting October 2nd at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Telegram chat for pure pickup game until end of the year. It's going to be it's pretty packed, pretty good course, pretty good curriculum, to be honest. So if you're interested in that, get on my email list. Link is in the chat. It's on my website homepage. Scroll down to the bottom, type in your best email. Boom, you're going to be kept up to date about the course. So I am going to go and do a workout because I didn't get a proper work. Well, I did a kind of a sexual workout yesterday. It was a good fucking time. I'm getting old, guys. I don't know. Waking up after banging, I feel like it's like a proper workout. But it is what it is. Javier Joseph, long time no see. You're just you're gonna have to catch the replay. Just about to log off, but yeah, I'm gonna be streaming a lot more for the month of September because we're teaming up with MLD to launch a course. So it's gonna check that out. So yeah, catch the stream at the same time tomorrow, guys. So jump in same time every day. Not every day, but tomorrow will be the same time. Yeah, so peace out, guys. Have a good one. Bye-bye.